If you want to learn how to make donuts in bulk, then this video is for you. Hi faves, let's make it together. I love this recipe because it is very simple and straightforward, and you can make it at home and even make a livelihood of it. Look at how fluffy and nice this donut is. You definitely want to see how to make this one. So let's not waste time. Let's get into the thick of it. Now, the first thing you want to do, like I will always say, is to sift your flour. You need to sift your flour so that you ensure that there are no impurities in that flour, because sometimes some things might just be underneath that flour, and when you're cooking for a lot of people, you need to be very careful. So what we are doing right now is to sift our flour to ensure that there are no impurities in it. We're using a total of 2.5 kg of flour in this video, but don't worry, I'll put the list of all the ingredients in my description box, so just check there and you can always look at that and just follow it, and you will get the same thing, the same outputs that we get. No cap, we're not hiding anything from you. This is the kind of video that some people will pay to go and learn, but we're giving it to you here for free on this channel. So you need to tag your friends, tag your enemies, tag everyone to this video so that they can come and learn how to make fluffy donuts that they can sell. That kind of donut that I showed in the first video, you can sell it for up to 200 naira. Imagine you make a business out of this. This is something like you can learn for even personal home use and all of those. The next thing we're going to do is to add some sugar. We used 300 grams of sugar for this. Then you're also going to add some salt to this. We used about 2 teaspoons of salt. You want to use teaspoons, not tablespoons. The next ingredient that we're going to add is some baking powder. We used 2 teaspoons of baking powder in this recipe. Okay, then we're going to use some yeast. We used 4 teaspoons of yeast in this recipe. Don't worry, if you cannot follow, I'll leave a description of all of them. Then we're also going to add some nutmeg to this. Nutmeg flavor is very, very good in your pastries, as it gives it that, that good flavor. You can use cinnamon if that is what you have. So the next thing we want to do now is to mix all of this together properly to combine. You want to mix everything together before you introduce your wet ingredients or any wet thing into this recipe. So now what we are doing is mixing this very well. Once it is well mixed, we're going to proceed with our butter. You don't need a lot of butter for this recipe, faves. You need about 60 grams to 70 grams of butter, and then you're going to use your hands to incorporate that butter into your flour. You're just going to use your hand to make sure that the butter and the flour, they form a good relationship. Because you can, if you're making this for home use, you can choose to use milk or something. But if you're making this for sale, for commercial purposes, in order to cost cuts, you can use water. But if you still want to be generous with your donut, you can use milk and all of that. So once the butter and the flour has formed a good relationship, the next thing on our list to add now is some water. We used a total of 1/4 cups of water because we measured it just for the purpose of this video. And then we're going to mix that water into the flour gradually. You don't add everything at once, you add it gradually, because you don't know if sometimes some flours can be different. Even if we say 1/4 cup of water, sometimes some flour, even after you have added 1/4 cup of water, it might not give you you might not get the desired result. So you might even adjust and add maybe a little bit more, but the standard water that should be added to this recipe is 1/4 cups of water. But you can then just add a little bit more, to just suit your preference or something. So now here is where the work is. If you have a big stand mixer, good for you. God has really blessed you. You don't even know what God has done for you. But if you don't have a stand mixer, You can just use your hand to mix it like this. This is where the work for donuts is. You need to mix it until it is fluffy. Like, you mix it until it is fluffy. I'm not even capping. She mixed for about 10 minutes. Like, we were adding the water gradually in the video, and she mixed this for about 10 minutes. So you need to mix the donut until it is fluffy, like really fluffy. If you don't make it fluffy, you might not get the same results that we got in this video. So what she's basically doing right now is to mix the donut very well, the donut batter, be the donut dough. Now that it is well mixed, we're going to cover this to rise or poof for about 30 minutes. We're just going to cover it and leave it out in the sun to do its thing. And after 30 minutes, we're going to come back, and once it is well rested and it has risen, you can see how it has risen. We are now going to mold this into our donut shape. This donut is not the table donut. This one is the one that you use your hand to mold. There are different types of donuts. There are ring donuts, there are jam donuts, there are, those ones that have that white line. This donut does not have that white line. Okay, so now she's basically showing you how to mix this donut, how to mold it rather. So you're going to place the donut on your palm, and you will use the hole between your thumb and your index finger to make this round shape. She's going to show you several times, so don't worry. Now what you're going to do first is you cut out some flour, like you can see then you dip it into some flour, and you put the part that has the flour on your palm. Then you use your second palm, like the space between your index finger and your thumb. You will use it to mold this donut into a ball shape like this. Let her show you again so that you do not get confused. Cut some dough, place it in the flour. Now place it on your palm. Use the space between your index finger and your thumb to form this into a ball. You have to be very light-handed. Don't apply too much pressure. You have to be very light-handed to achieve this. If it is too big, you can cut it out. So yes, you just use a very light hand to mold this like this, and then you will set aside. So basically what you'll be seeing her doing is molding the donut. Once we are done rolling the donuts, we are going to leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes to rise. Yes, you cannot just fry it this way. You have to allow your donuts to poof or rise for 15 to 20 minutes before you proceed to fry. Now we don't want to remove the parchment paper before we start frying, so we fry the donut with the parchment paper, and we look for a way to take out the parchment paper. Like I said, this is a different type of donut. This is not the donut that has that white line. No, this donut does not have white line. This donut is just like, let's just say, big puff puff, but not really puff puff. It's not even giving puff puff vibe, let's just say. But this donut does not have white line, for the records, so don't expect this donut to have white line. And this donut can be sold for 200 naira, and I think that making donuts is a very lucrative business, because this whole thing gave us a lot of donuts. I'll tell you the total number of donuts that he gave us at the end of the video. So if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so that you can have access to correct information like this. Like I said earlier on, this kind of recipe, some people pay to get access to it, like they pay a lot of money to get access to it, but we're giving you for free because we love you, and yes, because we love to teach. So look at how perfect that donut is. Look at how good looking that donut is. So all we are going to do is to flip the donut over and the paper would be off the back. So yeah, we're just going to continue to do that and add more donuts into the oil. This donut was so delicious, so yum. Everyone loved it, and I'm sure that when you make it too, everyone in your house, everyone in your family, they're going to love this. So yeah, what we're doing is placing the donuts in the oil. I'll flip it over, the paper comes off, and everybody is okay. So yeah, that's basically what we are doing. Please, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it to your friends, share it to your family members, share it to your enemies, because they will find this video very beneficent and beneficial. But yeah, beneficent. Oh, boy is hard. Anyways, so yeah, my donut is already browning on one side, so I'm flipping it over so that it can be evenly fried. Look at that goodness. Look at what we have. Like, this donut is cute, and I'm sure that you can agree with me. This is perfection. This is it. Like, this is it. I just need to brown up a little bit, and this is it. So yeah, I'm just going to take this now and allow it to brown up just a little bit, and look at what we have. This is beautiful. This is nice. Just transfer this to a sieve or like a drain where the oil can be drained from the donuts. Yep, just transfer this to that, and this is what you have. Perfection in form of a donut. Don't tell me that you don't want to try this recipe, because if you don't try it, my god, you're missing out on a whole lot of things. Like I said, you could use this for a business idea. You could start selling donuts, or you could just make it for a party. If you have a mini party in your house, and instead of you to go and order donuts from outside, you can just make it for yourself. That's the flex that you will get when you try this recipe. You need to follow it to the T, because this recipe is just the only recipe that you will need to make donuts ever. So please watch this video to the end so that you don't miss out on any of the good stuff. So now we're frying the final batch of the donut, and you just need to, if you notice that your donut is not frying quickly, you can increase the heat, but don't decrease the heat so much. That donut fries on medium heat, not low or high heat, medium heat. So if you notice that your donut is not browning up in time, you can increase the heat a little bit. But if you notice that your donut is browning faster than you expect, just decrease the heat, and this is what you would have. Oh my god, I am in love with this donut. Like, I love it. It's so fine, and I'm sure that you will love it. Your taste buds will love it. Please, will you be trying this recipe? Please let me know in the comments section. And like I said, I was going to tell you the total number of donuts that we got from this recipe. We got a total number of 42 donuts from this recipe. I told you that we used 2.5 kg of flour. These donuts are quite big, and we got a total number of 42 beautiful, cute, classy, hot, delicious donut from this. Some people can now inject this with some toppings or fillings or anything, but this is how we served this, and we loved it. Look at the inside. This is fluffy, delicious, and absolutely yum. I hope to see you in my next video. Please let me know if you'll be trying this recipe. Bye faves. Bye bye.